Under the bright sun of Ogbe village, there lived a woman as humble as the cracked clay pots she used. Her name was Nnenna, and she had one treasure in the world, her little daughter, Adana. Nnenna was a soap maker. Every day, with her calloused hands, she gathered empty palm bunches and other materials to make native soap. Adana, small but eager, always followed her mother, her bare feet dancing on the dusty village paths. The soap they made was special. People from far and wide loved it. Yet, despite their hard work, they were poor, often wondering if tomorrow would bring enough to eat. One scorching day, Nnenna and Adana prepared a big batch of soap, hopeful it would sell well. They waited under the shade of their bamboo shed as the sun climbed high, then began its slow descent. The village buzzed with life, but no one came to buy their soap. Adana's small stomach rumbled. "Mama, when will someone come?" she whispered, her eyes wide with hunger. Nnenna tried to smile, her voice soft but firm. "Soon, my child. Be patient." But soon never came. Evening fell, and the shadows of the palm trees stretched long across the ground. Still, no one came. Adana couldn't hold back her hunger anymore. Tears rolled down her dusty cheeks. "Mama, I'm so hungry." Nnenna's heart ached. She wrapped her arm around Adana, her own stomach tight with worry. There was no choice but to seek help. She left their small shed and walked to the house of the richest woman in the village, Madame Ugonma. Ugonma's home was grand, with a shiny zinc roof that glimmered even in the moonlight. Nnenna knocked timidly, her heart pounding. When Ugonma appeared, her daughters stood beside her, their eyes full of mockery. "What do you want?" Ugonma asked coldly. "Please," Nnenna began, her voice trembling. "My daughter and I have nothing to eat. Could you spare us just a little food?" Ugonma sneered, her daughters giggling behind her. "And what will you give me in return? Your broken pots. Go away. We don't give handouts to beggars." As Nnenna pleaded, one of Ugonma's daughters added with a laugh, "Do you think we'll ever need anything from you?" Their laughter rang in Nnenna's ears as she took Adana's hand and walked away. The air felt colder now, and their stomachs emptier. As they trudged home, Adana's tears had dried, but her little body sagged with exhaustion. The stars twinkled above, but even they seemed far away and unkind. Just as they approached their small home, they saw a figure standing by the roadside. The figure didn't move, and for a moment, fear gripped them. Who could it be at this hour? Nnenna held Adana's hand tightly. "Stay close," she whispered. But as they stepped closer, the moonlight revealed the figure's face. It was familiar. "It's Auntie Nkem," Adana cried out, her voice filled with sudden joy. Nkem, Nnenna's sister-in-law, had come unexpectedly. She carried a woven basket filled with food, yams, vegetables, dried fish, and even a little bag of salt. Nnenna's legs nearly gave way as relief washed over her. They hurried inside their little home. Nkem listened intently as Nnenna shared the day's troubles. She didn't interrupt, but her kind eyes said more than words could. "You've suffered enough for one day," Nkem said softly. She handed the basket to Nnenna. "I brought these for you. You and Adana will eat well tonight." Nnenna cooked quickly, the aroma of the food filling their small hut. Adana's laughter returned as she helped set the table. They ate until their stomachs were full, and for the first time in days, they slept with peace in their hearts. Life in Ogbe village had a way of balancing itself. Several market days after Nnenna and Adana's difficult ordeal, Madame Ugonma, the rich woman who had mocked them, fell gravely ill. What began as a simple headache quickly turned into something mysterious and severe. Her condition baffled every doctor they consulted, and no medicine seemed to work. Desperation gripped Ugonma's family. Then one day, a trusted family friend suggested, "Take her to the great herbalist. He is known to cure even the most baffling illnesses." The herbalist, a man with eyes that seemed to see into the soul, examined Madame Ugonma carefully. After a long silence, he spoke, his deep voice echoing in the room. "Your mother's ailment is beyond ordinary medicine. I can cure her, but it comes with a price. First, you must pay me a sum of money." Second, you must bring me an empty palm bunch. Without it, my concoction will not work." The daughters exchanged worried glances. Money was no problem, they were wealthy. But an empty palm bunch? It was the season of scarcity, and no one in the village had any. Then it dawned on them. There was one place where they might find it, the house of the poor woman, Nnenna. The memory of how they had treated Nnenna and her daughter made their stomachs churn. How could they face her after mocking her, laughing at her, and turning her away in her time of need? But their mother's life was at stake. Summoning their courage, they decided to go. When they arrived at Nnenna's small home, they hesitated at the gate. Adana, now playful and cheerful after days of eating well, was sweeping the yard. She saw them first and ran inside to call her mother. Nnenna came out, her expression calm but guarded. "What do you want?" she asked, her voice steady but without warmth. The rich woman's daughters knelt down immediately, their eyes full of tears. "Please, we have come to beg. Our mother is dying. The herbalist says we need an empty palm bunch to save her, and we know you have one. Please, help us." Nnenna stood in silence for a moment, then spoke, her tone sharp. "When my daughter and I were hungry, we came to your house and begged for food. You mocked us and sent us away. Now you come to me for help." The daughters wept openly. "We are sorry. Please, forgive us. We'll do anything you ask." Nnenna's eyes hardened. "If you want my help, you must give me half of your mother's wealth. Only then will I give you the palm bunch." The daughters gasped. "Half of her wealth? That is too much. Please, be merciful." But Nnenna did not waver. "That is my condition. If you don't like it, you can leave." Word spread quickly through the village, and soon, neighbors gathered at Nnenna's house. They tried to intervene. "Nnenna," one elder said, "you are a kind woman. Please accept 1/4 of her wealth instead. Show mercy." But Nnenna remained firm. "Where was mercy when my child and I were starving? Where was kindness when we were mocked and humiliated? I will not change my demand. Half her wealth, or no palm bunch." The rich woman's daughters wept bitterly, but they knew they had no choice. Their mother's life was slipping away. At last, they agreed. Documents were drawn up, and witnesses gathered. Half of Madame Ugonma's wealth was transferred to Nnenna. The rich daughters handed over bags of money, jewelry, and the deed to one of their lands. Only then did Nnenna go into her shed and retrieve the precious empty palm bunch. She handed it to them, her face unreadable. "Take it," she said. "And may it remind you that pride can cost more than you are willing to pay." The daughters hurried to the herbalist with the palm bunch. He prepared the cure, and within days, Madame Ugonma's health began to improve. But the rich woman, now weak and pale, had also learned of the price her children had paid to save her. Life took a dramatic turn. For the first time, she could dream of a brighter future for herself and her beloved daughter, Adana. With the wealth gained from the agreement with Madame Ugonma's family, the first thing Nnenna did was enroll Adana in the best school in the city. Adana, who had always been bright and curious, now had the tools to reach her full potential. She studied with determination, her mother's struggles and sacrifices fueling her ambition. From primary school to secondary school, Adana excelled, earning accolades and recognition. When she gained admission into a prestigious university to study medicine, the entire village celebrated her success. Adana's years at university were marked by hard work and perseverance. She graduated as the best student in her class, earning a scholarship for further training. Soon, she became a highly skilled medical doctor, securing a position at the largest hospital in the city. Her name became synonymous with excellence, compassion, and dedication. True to her promise, Adana brought her mother to live with her in the city. She bought a beautiful house, filled with all the comforts Nnenna could have only dreamed of during their days of hardship. "Everything I have, Mama," Adana often said, "is because of your strength and love. You gave me the foundation to succeed." Nnenna, now older and free from the burdens of poverty, lived her days in peace, proud of the woman her daughter had become. Adana never forgot her roots or the struggles of her early life. She dedicated herself to helping others. She set up scholarships for children in need, ensuring that no child in Ogbe village would have to abandon school because of poverty. She also organized free medical outreaches in rural areas, bringing healthcare to those who couldn't afford it. Villagers marveled at her generosity, and her name became a symbol of hope. Madam Ugonma and her daughters, now living more modestly, also learned the value of humility. They saw how generosity and kindness could transform lives and began to treat others with respect and compassion. As years passed, Nnenna and Adanna's story became a cherished tale in Ogbe village, a story of resilience, humility, and the power of second chances. Nnenna often sat on the porch of their city home, watching the sun set over the bustling streets. Adana would join her after long days at the hospital, and they would laugh and reminisce about their journey. "You turned our struggles into blessings, my daughter," Nnenna would say, her eyes filled with pride. "And you, Mama," Adana would reply, "taught me that even in the darkest times, there is always hope." Their story was proof that no matter how hard life might seem, kindness, hard work, and a heart willing to help others could light the way to a brighter future. Years had passed since Adana and her mother Nnenna left the struggles of their humble beginnings behind. Adana, now a celebrated medical doctor, had made it her mission to give back to the people of Ogbe village and beyond. Her medical outreaches brought hope to countless families who could not afford healthcare. One sunny afternoon, Adana returned to Ogbe village for a medical outreach program. Under the shade of a large mango tree, villagers gathered to receive treatment and medicine. Adana, dressed in her white coat, worked tirelessly, her heart full of joy as she served her people. Among the crowd stood a tall, handsome man with an air of quiet confidence. He wasn't just another villager. His presence commanded attention. It was Prince Chikwudi, the only son of the king of Ogbe Kingdom. The prince had heard of the outreach and came to witness the young doctor who had transformed her family's life and was now transforming the village. As their eyes met, a spark ignited between them. Chikwudi was captivated by Adana's beauty, intelligence, and compassion. Adana, though shy at first, found herself drawn to the prince's warmth and humility. After that day, Prince Chikwudi found every excuse to see Adana. He admired not just her dedication to her work, but also her kindness and strength. Their conversations were filled with laughter, shared dreams, and a deep understanding of each other's values. Despite their different upbringings, they found a connection that grew stronger with each passing day. Chikwudi would often tell her, "You are not just a healer of bodies, Adana. You heal hearts too, including mine." When Chikwudi proposed to Adana under the same mango tree where they first met, the village erupted in celebration. The wedding was a grand affair, uniting the rich traditions of Ogbe Kingdom with the humility and resilience of Adana's journey. Nnenna watched with tears of joy as her daughter, once a little girl who swept their small yard, became the bride of a prince. "Mama," Adana said, holding her mother's hands tightly, "this is as much your moment as it is mine. You taught me how to love and persevere." Adana and Chikwudi built a life filled with love and purpose. Together, they expanded Adana's charitable efforts, opening a free clinic in Ogbe village and establishing scholarships for children across the kingdom. Nnenna, now a grandmother, lived in the palace, her laughter and wisdom cherished by all. The family became a symbol of unity and hope for Ogbe Kingdom, proving that love, resilience, and kindness could break down barriers and build a brighter future. And so, the story of Nnenna and Adana came full circle. The little girl who once knew hunger and hardship became a queen in her own right, a queen of hearts, celebrated for her compassion and strength. They lived happily ever after.